This is Tyler Janet's video homework 6, Physics 221, objective stating that I can utilize the model of friction to determine the increase in temperature due to friction of an object sliding against another object of the same material. So the question I made to satisfy this objective says that suppose I pull a box made of pure steel which weighs 25 kilograms 100 meters across a steel surface. I pull with the force of 100 newtons. What is the change in temp? And the coefficient of friction is 0.5 and the specific heat is 420 joules per kilogram Celsius. So the important equation here is that the change in thermal energy equals the force of the pull times the distance of the pull plus the force of the friction times d effective. And d effective is simply the distance divided by 2 for the same material. So our d effective is 50 meters, and of course our d is 100 meters as given in the problem. So as we know, Fn equals Fg, so when finding our force of friction, we do 25 kilograms, which is the mass of our box made of steel as given in the problem, times 9.8, which is our normal force since it's the same as friction, or gravity. Canceling out here, sorry, that should be gravity. And then we times that by our coefficient of friction. And we get 122.5 newtons for the force of friction. Now we can plug this into our change in E thermal. So here we have 100 newtons times 100 meters, which is our force of the pull given in the equation, times the distance given in the equation, plus 122.5 newtons, which is the force of the friction that we needed to find, times our d effective, which is also what we found using what we had in the equation and the information from the question. And we get that our overall change in thermal energy is 16,125 joules. Now, since we know that our change in thermal energy is 16,125 joules, we use this equation that change in thermal energy equals MC change in T, or as I like to say, MCAT. So then here we plug in our specific heat for C, our mass of the box for M, and we have our change in thermal energy, and we need to find change in T, so we divide everything over, and we find that our change in temperature is 1.536 degrees Celsius. Once again, that's using this equation here to find the d effective and the force of friction in order to find our change in thermal energy in order to find our change in temperature, which is here. And that satisfies the objective of utilizing the model of friction to determine the increase in temperature due to friction of an object sliding against another object of the same material.